So the build, I'm working on this one. I'm about 50 to 60% done with this one. This, excuse me. Wait for a second. This is the beginning. That's pretty much where it starts. I paint these. These don't come. These are, when I get these are just solid, just plain wood. I go ahead. I've got a template I use to get the holes drilled in the right place, because I'm going to put these knobs here. So this morning started out. This one started out this morning this way. I use 5 of these. Different people have different ways of doing it. This would be the top. If you're using this, it would be faced this way. These would be faced towards you. These will input, output right there. I haven't got the wiring done yet. As you see, this is just dangling here. So this was just put together in the last little bit, and I am finishing up. This is what's called the stick plate, and you have wire all around this. And I personalize these. Now, to really personalize these, I ask people for their birth date. Not everybody comes through with that. Some people just don't check their, don't check the box, whatever. It's not a requirement. It just makes it more personal to the user. All right. So I've got, now we're going to go over here. And I'm going to go ahead and run this there for 40. Put this on the input side. And on the input side, I create a little coil. I've got this wire, but there we go. Second piece, a little bit. I have built, I cannot tell you how many of these I built. This is the standard size, and then I've also I built some. In fact, I've got an order for 2 of the really, if you will, beefed up sized ones. And I've thought about doing a tutorial, a video series, that if people want to build their own, that I could step them through and teach people. Not everybody can solder. I understand all that. Not everybody has time. So I still offer them for sale. I'm thinking about doing a very detailed course on building each one of these machines. There are several different sizes. So I've got more wire here than what I need. And I've got this tangled up. Just fine. Just want to make sure I got enough wire before I cut this to make a little coil for the input side. So that's more than ample right there. So now I'll get this out of the way. All right, so I'm just going to create a coil. Go right under the input side. And all this is going to be wired together on this side of this. Right there. So but this is the process I go through. This is a very basic machine. This one will not have, when I get out to the LOA 777, then we deal with these orgone pyramids and a lot of other, well, purple plate. In fact, I've got to order another purple plate. I've got one, but now I've got 2 orders, so I've got to place an order for a couple of things. So I'm going to go ahead and secure that little coil right there. All right. And then for the input side, I've got different kinds of tape that I use to get this started, but I end up with a metallic plate because we're dealing with energy. That metallic is going to be important to this completed machine. Let me make sure I got my there. So this is going to go like this. So I can't tell you how many of these I've built, and I kind of got carried away going to different levels for these builds. And the best results that I've gotten, the best feedback I've got from people that use these, and myself, my usage of them, I don't, at some point you got to say, okay, this is good right here. This is good. There may be sometime in the future that will change. I can't say for sure, but right now, this is my most popular one. It's going out. And if you read the feedback I get, literally the feedback I get from this particular one is it's awesome. So if it's working, I've got 2 other models. So if somebody wants a beefed up version, I certainly have those already. But this most popular one is the least expensive model. And the feedback is just awesome. Now, I do get good feedback as well, to be very clear, from like the Vampire Machine, the Trinity Machine, and so forth, the LOA 777. If you go to my website, in fact, I could have that up here, couldn't I? I think I've got it. Banners. There we go. Just so you got my website there. So you go to my website, you'll see, and it'll also link you to a bunch of videos I've done on this process. I just thought I would do this morning as I'm building these out. And if you come to the comment section, if you got any questions, I'll take the time to try to answer them. You can just type in the, if you're watching on Facebook, you just type a comment and I'll see it and respond to it. If you are YouTube, same way, I will see it. Just type it down in the comment section and I will try to answer everything I can for you. So this is being live streamed to 2 different YouTube channels and also on Facebook, which on Facebook it's called The Wish Doctor on Facebook. So all this that I'm using is metallic tape, because we are dealing with energy, at least. And these machines, when I get through with them, keep in mind they are home built. These are not machine. Now, of course, these are machine. I purchased these, but the rest of this is I make right here on my bench. And so it's going to have a homemade look to it. And the results have been fantastic. Some people I know, some people that do this, have very, well, they're not handmade. Let's just put it that way. It's very evident. And I think if you're dealing with this energy, for the benefit of people. And see, right now, as I'm going through this process, I am literally giving thought to what I know about the individual that this particular machine is going to. And this individual lives in Italy, and they're going to be relocating sometime in the near future, in August. So they got a move coming up. They got something coming up, and so number one, I want to ensure they get it beforehand. Hey, buddy, Brandon Lee Moore. And I want to apply my energy to it as I'm building it. I want positive energy. I want to think about a positive outcome for these people. And I'm not applying their wishes to it. I really don't want to know what they're wishing for. I just kind of a little bit about, their name and whatnot, and apply it like that. So this is now ready to wire up inside, which I'll be doing next. And the last thing I'll do with these is to apply the labels. There'll be a label there that says input, output, input plate, a stick plate, the output plate. This is what's called the stick plate right there. It's a slick surface. Okay, so you apply your intention, whatever the witness is representing your intention, and then a picture of you where you want the result to come to. Better put this blue dress relatively fast. So after I've gotten to that point, I will open this up inside. And what I do is I get all this set up and ready to solder. I don't solder as I go. I get it set up so I can just heat up my soldering iron and go through and go from there. So that I get it. It's all basically wired up. Just needs the solder to be applied. That makes it a lot easier to do. And then, right tape. I've got a bunch of this metallic tape here. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting ready to wire up the inside of the box. And this is just the beginning. I've got a lot more to do, but I want to get this basic started here. And one of the last things I'll do inside here is the soldering. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get the wiring all set so that as I run through here, it will be ready. And I use metallic tape, as I said, all the way through this. Okay. This can be the most tedious part of the build here. The type of energy we're applying, the radionics part, we don't use very thick wiring. It's not needed. But there is a certain way that you want this all connected together to make it effective. You can't just do this haphazardly. There is a method, as I say, to the madness. But input, output, how all these fit together. And I do go through. There will be this is all metallic tape that I'm using here. And even in the box, there'll be a crystal in here when I'm through. And it will all tie in. And it's up to the individual. I don't require it. I suggest it. But some people are a little bit nervous about giving us a birth date, and that's fine. I get it. Some people readily do it. Others don't. It's up to you. If your birth date is available to me, then I can take certain steps to make this personal to you. But believe me, it works even without going to that extent. it does work even without going to that extent. And when it worked for me, because it started working before I even had the box, the machine, if you will, completed. So people try to understand, people try to explain what is radionics. How does this, because you're not applying any electricity, not getting batteries in here. There's no power source they're using. How does this work? What is radionics? And the first thing I tell people is like, there's actually, it's not understood totally. But I can say this: it's all energy. In the world of belief systems and believing in gods, religion, and so forth, God could be defined as energy. So that's what we're dealing with, is energy. We're all made up of this energy. We all share the same energy throughout the universe, and we use different tools to manipulate this energy to hopefully our advantage. Now, we do this some through prayer, different means of doing this. The Catholics use rosary. Some people use a prayer cloth. Muslims have a little carpet. 5 times a day, they say their prayers in a certain position, facing in a certain direction. And people have different results based on what's going on there. Okay. I'm kind of talking in circles as I'm building this out. Now I've got to find. I dropped my wire. So I can wire this up. Where did it go? Okay. So like I said, I go ahead and I get all this wired together before I start soldering. It just makes it so much easier. So all this, it's like threading a needle. There we go. Let's hold that in place. Just kind of twist it a little bit so it'll stay secure until I get it soldered. Okay. All right. Now that'll go. So if you have an intention, you have a need, a desire, and you're looking to reach out to the universe, to, I have to say, manipulate the energy that surrounds us all through the universe. This is a tool in radionics to assist you in that. Now, these are going to give the best, clearly, result the more you apply yourself psychologically, uh, giving your thoughts, your expressing your intention. It's not something you've got to focus on 24/7, but you should spend time daily, just like a meditative state. It would be good to dedicate a little bit of time each day to sit with your machine, to give thought to what's going on, to apply your energy, as it were, to what's going on with this. Now, this one is a very basic model. This is the most popular one that I build. And it's a very basic model, and it's given fantastic results to a lot of people. There are people that are in a different position and have different desires, if you will. They want to look at it. And what happens is that, okay, what happened here? There's some people that want a more beef, more punched up. So, well, they get the more beefed up machine, which would be the LOA 777 or the vampire machine. And a lot of it has to do with what your intentions are, what you expect, what you want out of this. And how much you want to depend on the machine itself to see your intentions get fulfilled. This is the most tedious part of the build right here. Is this inside elements here, because you've got to get this all together appropriately. It does matter, regardless of what you think. This does matter. And what I'm doing now is not the end of it at all. This is the basic wiring, but there'll be more in here by the time I get through. I get this part of it done so that I get this tedious part done. Of course, this is a very necessary part, because this is where actually, when you're tuning in the right frequency, these have to be connected properly, because the energy be flowing through the circuit right here, starting, actually, the way we're looking at this, it's actually be starting on this side and going through this circuit here and coming out here. Coming out not only here, but also here. There's two outputs to this, which is explained in my videos on YouTube. There are some others that even do a more basic machine than I do. I go a step further in my most basic machine. Now, when I first started this, I did a little bit different, and I think I've stepped it up. I wasn't happy with, even though the results that were being gotten and the initial reviews, people were very, very, very happy with what was going on. But I want it a little bit better. Number one, I want this to serve you for a long time. And it can. You only do one intention at a time. You're not, it's just one intention at a time. And people will often ask, well, how long does it take this to work? Well, that varies. In my personal circumstances, the first time I used it, I got results like in 3 days. But That doesn't work that way with all intentions and with all people. It could take weeks. Um, some people get very fast results. Other people sometimes you have to be very, very patient. And but I just know that this changed my life dramatically. Where I was when I first started dealing with the radionics and these wishing machines, when I first started this, where my life was at that point in time compared to what it became, honestly, within just a few days of starting, not even completing, but starting to build out my first wishing machine. And it has not slowed down. It's not gone. It's just phenomenal. That's all I can say. It's just phenomenal. I cannot tell what to do for somebody else. But I'm not the only person that's had a dramatic effect with these. There are others, clearly, or they wouldn't be selling. I wouldn't be getting, people get online and writing reviews about these. You've got to understand something about it. I include a very thick manual with this. You're not just getting a machine. To be very fair, it's not just like, oh, you just, I want you to get something out of it. And so doing, I've written a very comprehensive little manual that comes with it so that you know how to use it and you're able to apply a lot of suggestions to help you get the best out of it. Things to look for, things to think about if you're going through. Questions that come up is, well, what should I use to, commonly called in this a witness, or what should I use as to represent my intention? And well, let me go back. Last year there was a lady that she had a boyfriend. They were living together. She was very much in love. She said with this guy, she wanted to get married. So she talked to me quite a bit on the phone. I do allow myself a lot of conversations. I want people to get something out of this. But anyway, she would call me. We would talk, and so she put in her wishing machine on the input side to represent her intention. She put, I think, a picture of rings, and a little bit impatient. A lot of people are. You're really wanting something. That's why you're dealing with this. You really want something real bad, and that was where she was with this. And putting the picture of the rings there, just she wasn't sure. I said, here's my thinking on that is that rings represent a whole lot. Your grandmother can give you a ring. Your dad can give you a ring. Just, a ring doesn't necessarily mean that somebody's going to ask you to marry them, which was what she was hoping for. And it's like, well, let them print out write on a post of them. I want Frank to ask me to marry him, or put that on a post-it, and you could likewise get online and print out there's samples of a marriage certificate. Be more specific is what I was trying to say. Don't be overly general. Be very as specific as you can be based upon what your outcome wants to be. I had another lady in Atlanta that had put her intention down, and it was she was impatient, very impatient. So she was leaving her house one day. The machine was there. She and as she was leaving the house, she literally threw like a $20 bill down on the wishing machine, and on the input plate. And her original wish was not seeking money. Let's get that straight. She wasn't. That wasn't the case, according to what she told me. But just out of frustration, she was leaving the house. She had a $20 bill in her hand or whatever. She threw it down on the input side of the wishing machine, and she said, "Screw it," and just threw it out. And she went out for the day. And that afternoon, she, as was her habit, I guess, she picked up, I guess, some scratch offs from the lottery. She won like $500 that afternoon. So it changed her mentality. It was like the wishing machine saying, "This works, but you've got to be patient, and I'm going to prove to you it works because you threw a $20 bill down there, and so now you get $400 or $500. Okay, so just be patient. What you're asking for, it can take time, and also it's like teaching you. There may be something you want, but maybe you don't really know what you need. Does that make sense? So it could be that at times, like, I knew what I wanted, I knew what I felt I needed, but the answer came in a different way. So sometimes we think it's like, oh, I need this to happen. We're not looking at it appropriately. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. The point being is that you've got a void, you've got something that's going on that you need resolved, whether it be income, whether it be a problem with your car, any number of issues that could be troubling you. And in your mind, you're thinking, "Oh man, I need I need somebody to get me a new tire, or I need somebody to whatever." And the wishing machine may come up with a resolution, excuse me, that you never thought of. It may come in a different way. Somebody could come along, and maybe you've got some particular kind of car that somebody comes along and says, "Hey," and this is really strange how this happens. Somebody could come along and say, you got a little problem with your car, and it's thinking, I need my car fixed. And then all of a sudden, somebody come along, and maybe you pull into a store, and they walk along and say, "Hey, you happen to want to sell your car?" It's like, "Oh, I got problems with it. I really wasn't thinking about selling it." And they say, "Well, I got one just like that, and I need blah, 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 and I'll give you right now X number of dollars for your car." So whenever you're seeking, you've got your intention, you've got to be open-minded because there'll be a door open that you never thought of. Joshua Warren gives the example of when he used his wishing machine. He didn't really know what to wish for, so he had spent $300 on his wishing machine. And he said, "Well, the practical thing for me to wish for is to get $300 back." And within a couple of days, he gets a phone call, and whoever it is says that we need somebody to speak at this engagement over here, this function, and we'll give you $300 to do it. So it's not like it's some magical thing that's just without that you can just sit back and your wishes will come true. Opportunity will come to you to fulfill those needs. Doors will be open to you, but you've got to walk through that door. You've got to see the door, the opportunity being presented to you, and you have to accept. You have to feed into that. You can't just expect, oh, wait a minute. Got somebody here. Billy Bird's on here this morning. Relieving the secrets of the contents of the famous wishing machine. I pictured tiny elves. Well, Billy Bird, I'm not through yet. The little elves are actually, see, we got them in this little box right here. So I can't let them out yet until I'm ready to seal this up. And I'm not there yet. I've got to put the magic crystals in there. And the magic crystals are here too. So you got to be patient. Okay? You never know when you might want to make a wish. Pocket size. Come. Well, this is almost pocket size, but I tell you what I do have. I'll present that later. If you ever heard of a psychomantium. Does it come with a platter case? A platter case? Or are you saying leather case? I'll make it to order. Could you make a wish for me? Yes, Billy Bird. I wish you peace and happiness and long years on earth. Of peace and happiness. How's that? All right. Boy, Billy Bird's wide awake this morning at 7:18 in the morning. Anyway, there's the basic part of this. I have another saw ring. The inside is not complete yet. And I'm going to break from this. I've got right now on my bench, I've got to build out. That's one. I've got this one's going to Italy. I got one going to Canada. I got some across the US. I've got 7 to build out this week. So they're going all over. I sent them all over the world. And there again, you go to the Wish Doctor. You see the website down here, right? TheWishDR.com. And read what people write about them. Okay? I didn't make this stuff up. And yeah, Billy Bird, thank you for being tuning into the insanity of our world here. My world, whatever. Enjoy your life. That's the important thing. Dare to be you and enjoy your life. Don't be a clone. Don't live a cookie cutter life. Enjoy it because it's going to come to an end. It does for all of us. So get out there. Be exciting. Create a new world for yourself. Other than that, folks, I am going to go get me something to eat. I just wanted to give a little presentation on the build of my first one this morning. And it's not complete. I still got to put the labels on. I still got to solder. I got to put the little, I got to release the little elves and secure them inside here along with the crystals and other secret, it's esoteric. I can't reveal it all. Plus, it only works if I build it. Well, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, have a good day, folks. Peace and love.